it's me, Kelly. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are starting off with a little bit of a book thrifting. I'm currently at a Goodwill. We're gonna see if we can find any books that I'm interested in at this Goodwill. I have a few other stops if I don't find anything here, but I thought we'd do a little book shopping and then do a little book haul when I get home. So let's see if we find anything at this Goodwill. Alright, I just finished at the first Goodwill. I did not find anything book related. I did find some Brain Quest, which I was going to bring into work because I loved doing these as a kid. Like, my teacher would have these at the end of the day and we'd do trivia questions. So I saw another teacher do this in their classroom, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about Brain Quest trivia questions. So this one's the second grade question. So they don't make these anymore. So I've been on the hunt for those at thrift stores as well. So I'm so happy I found one, at least. So we're gonna try another Goodwill that's about like 10 minutes away from here, and hopefully find some books. That's the goal, is to find some new books. We are at the next Goodwill location. This one's a little bit bigger. They have a bigger book section, so hopefully we can find some good things. This one's a really big hit or miss. Usually I find stuff that I already have, so hopefully we find some good stuff here, because I would like some new books to add. So glad that I stopped at this Goodwill because I picked up 3 new books. I'm so excited to show you guys, but we're gonna head home. We'll do a little book haul of the books I got today, as well as some other times that I went thrifting and found some books. So we have a little book haul coming up as soon as I get home. So super excited. So let's cut to when I get home. Hi guys, so we are back home and we are going to do a little book haul of all the books that I found today, as well as other days I've been out thrifting, kind of from the end of December to now, just trying to find some books that I wanted to cross off on my TBR list for the year, as well as just some books that might interest me to read soon. So to start off, the first thing is actually not bookish, but I did show it in the first couple clips. It is Brain Quest. If you don't know what this is, I literally remember my teachers growing up, like, my teachers would ask the trivia questions from this as like an end of the day activity before like buses came, or even in the morning, just to get our brain like moving. And I don't think they make these anymore because I looked online and I couldn't find them anywhere except like eBay. So I was like, let me see if I can find them at like Goodwills or thrift stores in general. And today I found my very first one. This is the second grade one. It has 1,000 questions, 1,000 answers. Even though, you know, maybe I don't teach second grade, I think these questions might be fun just to ask kids, and maybe in the future I will teach a second grade class. So I got this. I took off the price tag, but it was only like $2.99, $3.99, something like that. So totally worth. So happy about that. Alright, so we're going to start with the 3 books I found today. The first one I found was Daughter of Red Winter by Ed McDonald. I have never heard of this book or this author until I like literally saw it on the shelf, and I was like, what is this about? And I loved the cover. I was interested. Those who see the dead join them. From what I've read, it's a fantasy series. This girl, Rain, can see and speak to the dead. It's a gift that she has, but she has hidden, lied, and run to save her skin, and she's made some spectacular bad choices along the way. So I've never heard of this book, but I was really intrigued, and I know it's a series, so I think it's like a high fantasy. I believe it's queer or sapphic romance maybe in it or something like that, but I'm excited. I've never heard anything about this, but it interested me, so I picked it up. And this was, I think all books are like $1.99. Yeah, $1.99. So the next book I found, I'm super excited because I've been wanting to read this, and I have one of her books on my TBR, I believe, right now. And it is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have yet to read this, but I'm so happy I actually found this out thrifting, because this is probably like her top book, to be honest. Everyone's read it except me, and I'm just super happy I found this thrifting. So it was only, again, $1.99, so super excited. And this isn't the only book I found by her, so I'll show you, don't worry, I'll show you what else I found by her earlier in the month. And the last book that I found actually is a memoir. It is This Bright Future, a memoir by Bobby Hall. If you don't know who Bobby Hall is, he is Logic, the rapper Logic. I used to listen to his music a lot right out of high school, so like probably 2017, 2018, 19, around that time period, and I really enjoyed his music. I haven't listened to him in a while, and I saw this memoir and I was like, I'll pick it up. I also have his other book that he wrote, which is Supermarket, and I have yet to read that. So I think it'd be interesting to read his memoir, especially since I am a fan of him. I haven't listened to a lot of his new stuff. Well, I like more of his older stuff, but I picked this up because it was just kind of surprising to see at the thrift, and I noticed there's a bookmark in here on a chapter that someone left me. So this is from Gigi and Bo, which is kind of a cute bookmark. It's like water painted books, and there's this on the bottom. So it's an Etsy shop. I don't know what they sell, but maybe check it out. So yeah, I'm super excited to pick this up and maybe read a memoir this year at some point. And this was $2.99 since it's a hardcover. So the next two books I got, I want to say maybe like a week ago, and these were at Savers, so not Goodwill. The first book I found was The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. I always see her TikToks pop up on my For You page where she goes to Target and she'll sign books and stuff like that. So I've never read her books. I know she's like a thriller author, and this is kind of like her #1 book, and she has another one that just came out from this like series. I don't know. So thought I'd pick this up. This was $3.99. I don't go to Savers too much because of their prices, because literally this should be $1.99, but it was $3.99. Whatever, it's not that bad. But I found this, and it's pretty fair, like new, good condition. So that's the first book I found. And then the whole thing that started me going thrifting for books was to find this book, and I'm so happy I did, because I found Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. This is the third and final book in the Hunger Games trilogy. I'm so happy I found it because I want to read it so bad. Okay, I'm like, literally February, this is getting read at, regardless that if it's on my TBR, I have to read it. So I would find Mockingjay at the thrift stores, but it was always in a hardcover, or there was one time where I found this and it was a paperback, but it was just like so badly water damaged where I was like, I can't buy this right now. So finally found a decent copy of it, which it's not like perfect, but it's better than water damaged or hardcover books. So this was $2.99. Had to pick it up. Was so happy I found it. I literally was like, yes, at the thrift store. So those are the two books I got at Savers. All right, the next few books are kind of miscellaneous that I don't remember where I got them from, and I don't have a receipt by them. So I'm just gonna tell you the books, and then if it has a price tag, then I know it's from Savers. So for example, this one is from Savers. I got book 1 in the Mortal Instruments, City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I was interested to read this. I always see these books at thrift stores, and I feel like it's a well-known series, like young adult series that a lot of people read. The only reason why I haven't read it is I feel like there's a lot in the series, or I'm just thinking of like, because this series connects to another series, which connects to another series. I don't know. I just wanted to see what this was about, so I was happy I found book 1 in a decent condition, and decided to pick it up and see what it was all about, because I've seen this a lot around Book Talk, as well as just like at bookstores in general, like half-price books and things like that. So picked this up. Another book I found at Savers, which I was super surprised to find, was Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan, or Monaghan? Or Monaghan? I'm not sure. This one was $3.50, which crazy because it should be $1.99. This was also at Savers, but this is like, yeah, a pretty new book, 2023. She was kind of like an up-and-coming author. Like, I've seen a lot of booktubers talking about her books and reading her books early last summer in spring. So when I saw this, I was like, I'll pick it up, because a lot of people seem to enjoy her writing. So found this at Savers. Now the next two I think I found at Goodwill's, because they don't have Saver tags on them. But the first one I found actually was Blood Marked from the Legendborn series, which I believe this is book 2. I think the first one's Legendborn, is that the series that's like a King Arthur retelling, I think? Something like that? Yes, because it goes Legendborn, Blood Marked, and then Oathbound, I want to say. So this is book 2. I'm on the hunt for book 1, but I might just go to like half-price books and pick it up, because I don't think I'm ever gonna find it at Goodwill. And when I saw this at Goodwill, I was like, okay, typically I don't buy book 2s in series, but like, when am I ever gonna find this for $1.99? Come on. So had to pick it up, and yeah, I was super shocked to find this at Goodwill. So I was like, I'm gonna pick this up. If I can't find the others at Goodwill, no problemo. We're gonna go to half-price books and just pick up the first and third book there. So even though this is the second, it sounds silly. I feel like it sounds silly that I picked up the second without even having the first or read the first. But I also think I could probably pick it up at the library or something too and read it. So I don't know if that was silly, but I just had to get it. I was like, when am I ever gonna find this again at a thrift store for so cheap? So I got it. Kind of crazy. I don't know. Okay, the next book I have is The Fallen by Thomas E. Snagosky, which this is actually 2 books in one. It's The Fallen and Leviathan. But right away when I saw this, I thought of Fallen by Lauren Kate, which I thought I owned, but it might have been a library book or something, or I just have it somewhere else. It also kind of reminded me of Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. Like, you know, back in the early 2010s when everyone was writing about, or not even early 2010s, it was like 2000s where every author was writing like dark fallen angel type things. But apparently this book was from 2003. I have no idea. I have no idea, but I was intrigued. Okay, we got a nice looking man with some angel wings. I don't know anything about this. Book 1. It says, the ultimate quest for redemption. On his 18th birthday, Aaron begins to hear strange voices and convinced he is going insane, but having moved from a foster home to foster home, Aaron doesn't know whom he can trust. He continues to confide in the cute girl from class, but fears she'll confirm him crazy. It intrigued me. I picked it up. It seems familiar to other books that I read, like Fallen and Hush Hush. So it was interesting. And again, for this being only $1.99 at Goodwill is kind of crazy because it's 2 books in one. So that's a great deal, I feel like. The next book I actually found with the Annabelle Monaghan book and it is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I literally was like, what? Like, I saw it on the shelf and I was like, huh? This was $5, which, to be honest, not bad considering that like a hardcover book is like $30. So I'll take it. I'll take it, especially when it's this book, like a very popular book. So I found this at Savers. I was shocked. I actually found this before The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I'm super excited to read this. So yeah, especially I just saw, well, it was like an older vlog, but Sarah Crowley has read this and I remember watching her saying she really enjoyed it and all of that. So and I see some names that I've noticed, like Kristen Hanna has a little blurb on the back. The only other books I need to get from Taylor Jenkins Reid would be Daisy Jones and the Six and Malibu Rising, because I'd like to read those. But I was just so shocked to find this, so I had to pick it up. So Atmosphere, Taylor Jenkins Reid, and it literally looks brand new. Like nothing is wrong with it. Also, the inside, oh, pretty. The sky, pretty. Can't believe found this at the thrift, so excited to have that as well. And the last and final book, which I literally could not believe my eyes, because I was like, I don't know if it was because I manifested it, because I was thinking about this book, and I never go to Salvation Army for books because I'm like, they don't really have a lot of books, whatever, I'll just go and stop in and see whatever. I never go to Salvation Army. For some reason, on December 23rd, I decided to go, and I found Beartown by Frederick Bachman, guys. And this was $3.99, which, well, again, not bad. Not bad for a hardcover, which is typically, well, this is $26.99. Wow, crazy how that's $30 and this is $26. But anyways, found this at the thrift. I literally was like, what? Huh? So happy I found this, because this is a book that I'm definitely going to read this year. I love Frederick Bachman. It's a series about hockey, a small town hockey team type deal. A lot of people, it's like a beloved series by him. So I was just in utter shock that I found this. I was like, that's so weird. I just made my 2026 TBR video and I want to read this book, and then I find it at the thrift. Is that not manifesting? I don't know. I think it is. I have some powers sometimes. Sometimes they don't work. But I found this. I can't believe it. Probably never gonna have luck again, but it's fine. I'm so happy that I found this. Alrighty, those are all the books that I found thrifting. So hopefully this inspires you to go and check your local thrift stores, okay? They're sometimes hit or misses, but you don't know unless you go out and search, okay? Sometimes you gotta look in all the sections too, because sometimes people just like put their books back in like the cookbook section or even the kids section. Check out, because sometimes they'll put like little romance books in the kids section because they look cartoonish, which is bad. But go check it out, because you can find some really great books for a really, really low cost, which is amazing. So hopefully this inspired you to go check out your secondhand stores. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe. I post videos once a week, whether it's bookish content like this, lifestyle vlogs, kind of whatever I'm in the mood for. So if you like what you're seeing, you should go ahead and subscribe. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye!